got a Grumman 1/72 scale from Airfix here. Right, on opening the box we have the instructions and the decals. So I'll have a quick look at the instructions here. Bit of history on the front page, several languages, safety notes, legend for the build instructions. There's not many parts to this, if I remember. There's six parts and painting. Basically you build the fuselage straight away. When the windscreen and stabilisers go on, you build the wings, put the engines in, put the floats on, the wheels on, and that's it. Very quick to do. Now you've got the Gosling, which is the British Fleet Air Arm version on here, camouflaged. I've never actually built that one. Well, I built this one several times before, but I've never actually done the camouflage version. I've always gone for the US Coast Guard. That's it for the instructions, so we'll put those away for a second. The decals. Let me just get my glasses on here. I'll magnify ones and have a look, because these are really nice. You can actually read what they're on here. The originals, that you couldn't read them. You got, I don't know whether you can see this here. Just here, it's got Grumman, Gosling, Widgeon, 1/72 scale, Airfix, and you can read that. That's in that little black writing there. You can actually read it. It's amazing. And it's got 1/72 scale underneath it. So these are really good details on this. And they all look to be in wedges. There's nothing out. No, nothing's out on that. So, that's a surprise. That is a surprise. They must have new printers there. Must be standing open with a whip. Let me pop this to one side here. I can open the bag. Not many parts in it, as you can see. Take this off of here, and we've got the internal windows. They've got a good dimple in them, so they're well got big distortion on them. The front windscreen is very clear, little distortion on the sides, but not too bad at all. It's what you usually expect, actually a little bit better than you usually expect. Tree parts, we've got 4 trees, 2 with wings and stabilisers and floats, and we've got 2 fuselage ones with wheels and 1 engine on that one, engine and struts and all that on that one, and a pilot that, oh dear, pilot looks like he's from World War One. He is. Oh. Oh, look at that pilot there. Hang on, look, can I get in closer? There we go. Let me, oh, I ain't been round the wrong way. There. He looks like from World War One with that coat. There's a bit of a mould lying around them. But there's a small, tiny bit of flash on that. Small, tiny bit of flash on those as well. I mean, there's nothing really to say much about this. There is no flash really. There's a small amount. There's a large amount of attachment points for the wings, and again for the fuselage it's quite a big attachment point, but it's actually inside the wing section on that, so that's okay. This won't take long time at all to build, it really won't. It's raised panel lines and rivets. There's no panel lines on the rear end. There's some panel lines on the front of it. I think it's a case of recessing the panel lines where they've gone out across the joint, and hopefully you won't see them when you put pre-shading on it. All in all, not bad at all. There's some panel lines on the engines, nothing on the floats, so they'll be alright. Wings are all in one piece, so you've only got the leading and trailing edges to sand down. And the tail planes have got a great big pin mark. A big pin mark, look at that, right in there. I should be able to get that out though. What's the other one like? Yes, that's got a big pin mark in as well. Rest of it, don't worry about. It's all out of the way. All out of the way. You'll never see it in there anyway. By that time that goes on there, sprayed up, you won't see any of that in there. So it's just the one on the tailplane elevator section on both sides. So that is the Gosling. It's the Grumman J4F1. Hello, back again. Now you've just seen the review of this. It was just the Grumman. I started work on it. What we have here is the wings. They're glued together. There's nothing wrong with them. There's a little bit of a mould line on the nucleus here that I've got to take off. I took the pin off this side, and I'll explain that in a bit. I'm going to take the pin off of this side as well. The fuselage has been painted on the inside. Needs a second coat. I'll do that in a minute. That'll be almost ready to go together when I've done that. Tail planes, the pinholes have been filled and sanded, so they're ready. The worst piece is the engine and nucleuses. Now, when I put them together, they were far too small this way. They're about, I can't remember now, they're quite a bit, even now that it's not there, it's like probably 1.5 mil, 2 mil out from this size compared to this size. So what I did was to make life easier for myself. I glued a piece of plasticard, a nice thick bit of plasticard on the back of one of the nucleuses, and I cut it down. This one, as you can see, I've cut it around the outside. I'm going to glue the two halves together like this, and then I can sand and fill the joint if I need to on there. And now with that there, it is the correct size on here for the nucleus on the rear. So that's done. So that won't take too long to do. I've just got to cut the other one around the outside so I can fit it. I'm going to do the Gosling British Fleet Air Arm version. I've never done that one, so I'm going to do that one. Okay, getting on with the Grumman now. Put the two halves of the fuselage together and glued them up there nice and dry. The joints will have to have filler in them, well, not a lot, but they will have to have a lot of filling done to them on the bottoms and the tops. The tailplane went on, and that is nice and square. That's one worry out of the way. I glued the windscreen in after I had to bend it with hot water and got it into place. I still didn't have enough, so I had to sand and polish the sides of the windscreen just to get that extra tight fit on them, which I did that, and that's come out quite nicely. However, we still have a big gap around the bottom of the windscreen here, from this corner here all the way round to this part of the corner here. Also, the middle top has got a little hole in, and the top part here is actually curved like that and dips down in the middle. So I'm going to have to fill all this top half, blend that all in. I'm going to fill up the bottom part as well. Oh, excuse me. Been out in the cold wind today. I'm going to have to fill up the gap down here with some filler. I'll put some tape over the windscreen so hopefully I'll keep it in a good condition. It's not that brilliant, the windscreen, but it'll do for my purposes. Get back onto these here. I've glued both of them together and I've sanded it down. What I cut these off here. This one hasn't been sanded down yet, but it will do. This one I've sanded down, got a nice joint, I've got a nice fit in here, as you can see here. I don't know where you can see this here, let me put that up here close. There's still a little bit of step on this, but that can be sanded out, no trouble at all. I've sanded the engine nucleuses down as well, they come up quite well. There's a little bit of glue spillage over the side, I'll have to take that off with a sanding stick. Maybe a little bit of filler where I haven't quite joined the end of it here, so, but nothing major, it's not too bad. I've checked the end here and the props still fit over it, so that's good. I've glued it on here and I've got quite a good fit on here, good mounting as well, but I had to take off the pin here and sand this flat here because this was sticking out quite a bit. So that's my next job, is to sand this one down and get it onto here. Oh, upside down here, and get it onto here. And I'll have to sand the back a bit of this. I know it's out. So we'll sand the back of that there, glue it on, and then finish off the engines. That won't take long at all. The struts I'm going to put on afterwards. I'll paint those and put them on afterwards. It'll be easier painting this without the struts in the way. The worst fit on this is, where's the other one? I know I chucked it in disgust. Oh, here it is. Here is the floats. Can you see that? This side here is quite a bit shorter. The bottom fits, the back doesn't fit here, there's quite a step in here, but the front is well stepped there. I don't know where you can see that, hopefully you can. I'll try and get some photographs of this. This side of it, the front half is going to have to be filled with a great big lump of filler, and the same on this one here. The pins are left in this one because they do line up the bottom, and basically the back and the top are lined up, even though we've got a step in this one. The front pins, however, are, well, this one you can actually see the pin coming out the top of it here, and this one, yet again, you can see the pin just coming through the top here. So that was well short of plastic on those two. So they've got to have a lot of work doing to them. Okay, got quite a bit further on today. Sanded this down. Sanded the filler down I put on it last night. I also put the exhaust on. So basically that's finished, apart from the floats, which were another job all in told. The floats here, I've sanded off that big lump of filler, and they seem to be fine. This one seems to still have a bit of a lump on the front. I'll sort that out later. I've taken the wheels off and sanded those down, got the mould off of them. I sanded down the propellers, well, not the propellers themselves, but the hubs, and the back hub basic piece. That fits perfectly on there. The fuselage, I'll start with what I last was doing. I'd glued the windscreen in, so I filled that up, and I did get a few scratches on the windscreen, so I've had to buff that up. It's come up fine, but because I got the indentation here, I put this glazing in because it matches in with the windows. So I put the glazing in there. That's in there nice and tight now. I also put the undercarriage on and the rear tail wheel. That's gone I've just got to let them dry now before I could do anything else to them. But that's almost ready now. I've got to remask up the window, so I'm going to do some priming on it. The Grumman J4. As you can see here, I put a red coat of primer on the whole model. It's turned out not too bad. I've had to fill a couple of places, so I did that and sanded it down. Now I've got the white primer on it, as you can see here, and I'm just about to put a pencil line over the top of that, and I can get on with the camo pattern. Now, on the camo pattern itself, let me do this side because this is a much better side. I've done a freehand camo pattern on this. No mask, just the airbrush going in very tight with a very small line, just to mark out the pattern, and then I can fill in the centre with it, which I've done. However, I was wondering about the overspray, and at the moment, the trouble is I put a clear coat over the top of this and it's very shiny. I can't see much overspray as such, but I did do one bit heavily. Now where is it? Just here. When I came down here, I've got a little bit too much overspray on this piece here, but I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to touch it. If I do that, I'm going to ruin it. So I've did that, and the camo pattern seems to have come out quite nicely. For a first time effort on freehanding, I think that I've done pretty well. As you can see here, it's very glossy on the top surface. Not so glossy down here, but I just put that on to seal the paint in, and I think I'm going over it, looking at it. I can't see much overspray at all on it, if any. I think there might be a little tiny bit, but nothing to worry about. On a 72nd scale model, that is pretty good, I think. I don't know whether you think it's so, but I think it is. So in this particular case, I'm going to call this a success. And I'm going to carry on. As soon as this is all dried properly, I will decal it. Hi there, back again with the decals all done on it. Now, decals, there's a mistake on the sheet. 12As and 13As, swap them around. They're the wrong way around. They've been numbered wrong. So be careful when you build this kit that you get them the right way around. I had to scrabble in me decal box, my spare decal box, to see if I could find some, and I did. So I was lucky enough to be able to put them on the side. We have the all the parts put onto this, the props, the rear struts, the floats, and the undercarriage. Although it's a bit wonky, I'll tell you the truth, it is a bit wonky. I had to do amend with that. It's just too fragile for it. But in all, the kit has only cost me £3. And it's turned out really good. The hand camo, freehand camo, I was over the moon about that. Really am. I didn't believe I could do that, but I can. So that's handy for me, and it's another one of the list of in my stockpile. So I'm going to say thanks for watching, and that is the 5th one this month. 5 in January. You know, it's one more than I expected to do. Out of the box, basically, ones. So, for now, I'm going to say, that's it. Goodbye. Have a nice time. Keep up the modelling. Bye for now.